Okay, guys, look, I got a mic. I'm very official now. Yeah, anyways, welcome to my podcast. My name is Jolly, I'm your host, and this is Dead Name, a podcast where I talk about whatever I want, but mainly I like talking about like trauma and mental health and now grief and just like my life in general, my thoughts and opinions. Yeah, today's topic is gonna be the internet, mainly like my experience being on the internet. I'm something of an internet veteran, if you will. I've been on the internet for 10 years, and I'm 22. That's half my life. But yeah, I like no tea, no shade to my mom, to be honest. I understand why she didn't monitor my internet usage. I think one was because she didn't really know much about it, and two, she was really busy. So like I understand why, but like she should have. She should have. Like I ended up on like some weird sides of the internet shouldn't have been on. But I feel like it's so 2000s core for me to have been online at like 12 and just doing whatever. Like it's definitely a core memory for a lot of my life, but I um yeah, I'm like I don't know, should I just get like straight into it? Probably. Yeah, I started off on this website called Pagey World. It was a website where you could like post your art, um, and it was mainly like anime slash like cartoon types of drawings, and that was the thing that I was into at the time. Um, because I drew a lot of anime when I was younger, like a lot of anime. And so I was on Pagey World, and it was like this cute little corner of the internet where like it had a lot of people on it, but not like a ton, you know? So people were kind of just like doing whatever. Yeah, so you would like not really know anybody in real life who knew what Pagey World was, but if you were on Pagey World, it was like a cult, low key. Like everybody was all about Pagey World. They would constantly have like these art contests where you like draw the mascots, and that was I think for like every contest was just like draw the mascot doing something. Like I remember for like the Olympics, they were like draw the mascots in Brazil or some shit like that, and I definitely participated. Um, but yeah, I spent like a lot of time on there, guys. I was so dumb. I was so dumb. I was I was straight up like posting like my full name and the city I lived in and my birthday. Just like one step away from posting my mom's credit card information online. Um and with this podcast the argument could be made that I have not left my roots. But I would like to say that in defense of myself that posting my thoughts on the internet is not the same as posting my fucking address and my social security and the name, my mother's maiden name, and the name of my first pet. Like, it's not the same. It's not the same. I was on Pagey World. I was posting my art. I did get like a little bit popular. I won't say I was like by any means that girl, but I definitely was like for 12 years old to get 1,000 likes on a post is the same thing as getting a million, in my opinion. To be 12 and to get 1,000 likes back in like 2014 is the equivalent of getting a million likes today, and I will die on this hill. And I've always said that, but like yeah, so I was on there for a really long time. I met some really cool people on there. People that in this day, I don't know if I even met them on that website anymore. Maybe they remember, but I've just known them as like people I've been friends with for my whole life and not like where I met them. Like I really, actually wait, I have one person that I remember who I specifically remember I met on Pagey World because I was like obsessed with their art when I was a kid. Like, oh my god, I was so obsessed. It was like this era of my life where I was just like on this damn website like every day, just posting my personal information and my anime art. And I'm honestly super grateful I didn't get like kidnapped or something, or like have my identity stolen, because I was just like giving that stuff out freely. I think I remember I specifically made a post dedicated to my very first follower on that website. I was like 12. I was so grateful. I was like, I've been posting anime girls with no arms and no neck, and you followed. Thank you so much. And honestly, props to that person. Anyways, after Pagey World was like its own thing. I'll do a deep dive on it one day, because I think there was definitely a lot of things to cover according to that website. Like, there was definitely like some minor controversies that I think were like low-key kind of funny for like an art website. Anyways, yeah, I'll get into that another day. But yeah, after Pagey World, I just went to Instagram, and I didn't even go to Instagram. I went on to Wattpad. I went to Wattpad and I posted. I have this thing where like I kind of get a little bit popular on like social media websites because I will post every day, and I live by this. If you want to get popular on social media, you just have to post every fucking day. Will that happen on Spotify? No, I don't think so. But on like any place I have to post my art, where I get popular is from just consistently posting. But anyways, yeah, so I kind of blew up on Wattpad too, because I had a miraculous Ladybug fanfic that I wrote. I'm gonna let that sink in. Yes, I did write miraculous Ladybug fanfiction. It was not crazy. It was nothing crazy, but like I'd be like mad when I watched the show because they just kept like edging the relationship and not showing them getting together. And I was like, it has been 2 years of me watching translated episodes from French to Spanish captions to English captions, and y'all have not given me one crumb. So I took it into my own hands and I wrote a fan fiction, and that was like #1 in one of the Ladybug fan fiction tags for like a long time. Like I remember like 4 years down the line, I was like still getting notifications from that fan fiction of people being like, oh my god, well, it's like scenes and stuff. Oh my god, it was a fever dream. But yeah, after that, I went to Instagram. And then on Instagram, I had a miraculous Ladybug fanfic account. And that's where I got my first couple followers, was from posting miraculous Ladybug fan art and making edits of my art and posting those. And making like really, really, really bad AMVs, which I think stands for animated music videos. They were really bad, but I did get followers from that because it was 2014 and the barrier to entry was very low. And then I just like turned it into like a regular art account, and I started like blowing up a little bit down the line, like maybe after like 3 or 4 years. I started getting actual followers on Instagram, and I got up to like 22k. I think that's the most I've ever had. So that was insane. I even, not to toot my own horn, but I even got a free package from Paperlike. There are like iPad protection covers that feel like paper. That was like low-key the peak of my career. I peaked. And then they sent me another promotional package, like after 2 years of not using that account, and I like messaged them and was like, I'm so sorry. Like, I just have not been active on this account, and I'm sorry I never replied and told you all how it was. But anyways, here's my current review. Then they sent me another promotional package, and then I reviewed that immediately. So I'm like something of an influencer. But yeah, so there was that era. But that's like my internet career more than anything, and not like my experience. But I just wanted to give like some backdrop to it. When I was on Pagey World, I met my groomer. My first groomer. I've gotten groomed like 3 times. But I met my first groomer on Pagey World, and her name was Sierra, and she was probably the worst person you could probably ever meet. Not because she was a groomer, but just because she was like straight up cringe. Like, Miss Girl was like 21, 20, I was 12, and she actually pissed me off so many times when I was 12 for being cringe. Oh my god, I was getting groomed. I was like, I wanted her to like me. So like, she would type the cringiest thing I've ever heard in my life, and I still feel shame that I even participated. But like, she would type like the slashes, and then or like the little asterisks, you know, and people are like trying to show that they're doing an action through text. It'd be like asterisks, nuzzles. Yeah, and we would role play. That was a thing on page. It was role play accounts, like role play groups that people would make, and then you would go onto Line, which is like an Asian messaging WhatsApp, basically. Essentially, it's what it is. And you would go online, the app, and you would role play with people, usually in a group. But then she like singled me out, and we did like one-on-one role plays, and that's where things got like really inappropriate. And she groomed me. We were like dating for like I think a year and a half or 2 years, and she simply, not only did she commit the crime of being a groomer, but she also committed the crime of just being like the worst person to ever talk to. I broke up with her because she was so cringe and immature for her age, her big age of 21, and I was 12, and I was like, this bitch is weird. And then I met my second groomer because I started live streaming my art. Like 12 hours a day, I would live stream my art. And I met my second groomer doing that because he would like join my art streams, and he would just talk to me, and then we just like became friends. And like there's like a history with that I don't want to get into because it's really complicated, and honestly I'm just like tired of like beating a dead horse. But yeah, so I met him. And then after that, I did not get groomed online again. I got groomed in real life. I'll probably go over that on here eventually, but not today. But yeah, after that, I just made like a lot of really good friends on the internet. People that I like wish I had lived closer to, that I could actually meet. But like it's kind of something kind of beautiful about being online and not ever meeting these people. Does that make sense? Like you really want to, but like the beauty of the relationship is that it's like all purely through text and maybe sometimes FaceTimes. But like these are some of the kindest people I've ever met. I think it's beautiful that I'll never meet these people in real life, and that's pretty much been my experience with the internet. Anyways, thank you for watching, and of course, have a great evening or day or wherever you're at. Thank you for watching. Alright, bye.